Jordan was definitely on something dumb. I don't know what exactly, but he definitely. I just tune him out sometimes, bro. Like he's always yelling, so he probably had something to say.
What was the goofiest thing that he yelled throughout that series, or specifically map 3?
I don't think he did anything like too goofy. He did a ton of just like yelling at specific people, like on the other, like he'd kill someone on the other team and he'd just be like, Jonah, what are you doing? Like just, but like replace Jonah with anyone. Like whoever he killed, he would just be yelling at them.
Everyone, Stage the 2 in here. I'm here with my Pinoy King. Also victorious, going to Toronto. I'm here with Zekken after a 2-1 series against G2 Esports. Yeah, initial thoughts. Like, what's going through your mind?
I'm stressed. My heart is still racing at like a million miles per hour. That's pretty much it. It still hasn't hit me yet. I'm very glad that we made it. I'm very proud of my teammates and our coaching staff. We had really good resilience, and shout out to G2 too. They had really good. They almost made the comeback. Very strong resilience from them. They made us like really work. But yeah, just really happy.
When did it start coming to hitting like in the series where you're like, oh my god, we could do this. We can qualify right now.
Probably like midway through the defense on Ascent. I think we went up like 4-2 or 5-2, and I could feel us like starting to get some momentum. I could feel like the energy in our voices starting to go up a bit. And I think that's when in my head, I was like, wow, this can happen.
You know, I want to take it back a bit because the first map it was very G2 skewed. So, you know, talk to me about map 1 and then what the team was talking about to kind of, like, what were some of the reflections so that you could have a really strong series in games 2 and 3?
Map 1, we came out pretty shaky. Like, we won the first 3 rounds in a row, but even those 3 rounds were not like super up to our standard. We had some good gimmicks and good plays that caught them off guard, but I still thought we could have executed them better and more cleanly. And I think just overall through the entire game, our execution just really wasn't up to par. Our playmaking wasn't that great, and they just played a solid split. And it wasn't like we were caught off guard or anything. We just didn't really play that well. But we knew that coming into like the break between maps 1 and 2, and we were obviously frustrated with ourselves and knew that we could be way better. So we just made it a point to ourselves that if we were going to lose in map 2, like just don't go out sorry. Like the way we did in map 1, we just wanted to show the best version of ourselves possible. So even if we lost in 2 maps, like we'd have better form for the rest of playoffs. But we definitely answered like the call to be better, and you know, 2 maps later we won. So yeah, pretty happy that we could pick ourselves up like that.
Was that kind of like a Kaplan-led comment where it's, hey guys, like it's okay, like all that, like the statement you said, or was that kind of like who kind of initiated that idea to kind of just talk about that more?
It was player led because I think Kaplan and John were in an interview or something, or maybe in the bathroom, because the first few minutes when we were outside there talking to each other, they weren't there. Yeah. So it was just me, Zellsis, Bang, and Narrate, and we were talking amongst ourselves, like venting our frustrations to each other and saying how we could be better in the next map and the things that we could be doing. But I think it was us initially, but then after a little bit, Kaplan and John came back, and then we had that kind of talk just as a group, and then we had a nice little huddle. But I'm glad that like we could have the agency on our own to do that just as players without like needing the leadership from Cap and Amin. But like, I mean, if they were there, it probably would have been them that started it, but I'm glad that we could do it on our own.
I mean, how much time do you get between that time before you have to go back on stage? That's like, what, 7 minutes?
Yeah, I was going to say like 5 to 7. But yeah, it's definitely not a lot of time out there. It's usually very, very quick talks.
All right, so then I want to jump back into the map 3 with the set. When you had that first half 10-2, I think I saw Jordan just standing up with the T. You know, after that first half, what was the team feeling there?
Team was feeling incredible. I mean, 10-2 with us getting ecoed is pretty much as good as it can get. Definitely best case scenario for our defensive side. So we were just trying to carry that momentum as much as possible into the attack, and it didn't work. But we were definitely feeling good coming out of the half.
Yeah, it's like you're like, yo, let's carry this momentum. Jordan's probably yelling, and then round
to 11-10, and then that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yo, what was happening there when it was just round for round? It's getting a little closer. Was the team just like, oh shit, okay, all right, let's regroup and then kind of get back into everything? Like, were the was the energy starting to just fizzle a little bit toward that period when G2 was kind of coming back?
I think our energy for the most part was fine because even though we were losing, it's still, high stakes, very important. So everyone's still like calming, like their life depends on it.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, it was just Valen, or I guess whoever was calling for them on defense. They just called very well. They knew pretty much where we were trying to go and had some good gimmicks and set plays to kind of counter it, which got them a lot of momentum. And they just kind of chained the rounds together. But I think in general, like Valorant is just a game of runs. Like people will get 7 rounds in a row, then the other team will get 7 rounds in a row. But you just got to be able to kind of like break their momentum. Like you can win. People string together rounds very easily, but at the same time, you can win any round. So it's just trying what you can to stop the momentum once they had it. But yeah, the energy stayed pretty consistent throughout, I think.
How big was it mentally when you got that? When you win pistol and then all these rounds after round keeps happening, and then you finally break that, and then you get that 12th round. Does that kind of just relieve that tension? Does the energy just even skyrocket even more, and you're kind of just shaking even more in that situation? It's like, oh yeah, no, we're definitely doing it now.
It was definitely a big like energy boost and I guess momentum when we got that 12th round. Just a very, very happy moment for us, knowing that like we could break through kind of the barrier that they put up. I think it made the round after a little bit easier, just knowing like, hey, we can we can beat this defense. Like they've got a lot of stuff, but we can work it, and we can we can just break through it and get around. So it's definitely a big moment getting that 12th one.
I don't know why, for some reason in my mind, I'm just imagining just say something stupid like, that's right, the momentum's still here, baby.
Jordan was definitely on something dumb. I don't know what exactly, but I just tune him out sometimes, bro. Like he's always yelling, so he probably had something to say.
What was the goofiest thing that he yelled throughout that series, or specifically map 3?
I don't think he did anything like too goofy. He did a ton of just like yelling at specific people, like on the other, like he'd kill someone on the other team and he'd just be like, Jonah, what are you doing? Like but like replace Jonah with anyone. Like whoever he killed, he would just be yelling at them. So he was very big on that throughout the whole series. It was fun.
Was it hard to not laugh during those moments?
No, like you get used to it. I've been on a team with him for like 2 years. It's just same old Jordan.
You're kind of numb to everything now.
I'm kind of desensitized to him.
All right, now I just want to talk about moving forward. We'll first talk about that MIBR series, which will be next week. What are your thoughts on MIBR, and then how do you kind of treat these next 4 to 5 days so that you don't have to go into the lower bracket and you could just go automatically into the finals?
MIBR look really, really solid right now. They've obviously got the GOAT, Osbos, and then a whole bunch of young guns who are all, they're really firing on all cylinders as of late. But, we just kind of have to come into the game composed, kind of not how we came into the game today. Like if we have a better start than we did against G2, against MIBR, I feel very confident in that series. I think we can just come out and be fundamentally sound and outshoot them and just do our thing.
Yeah, you're gonna go into the VAR review and prep like, hey guys, remember when we went 10-2 in the first half? Let's do that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the move. Yeah, it's a good strat.
That's pretty big brain, honestly. No,
I agree.
Yeah. So then I'm just genuinely curious as well, because there will be that lower bracket where one more team will qualify for Toronto. Do you still have G2 just as like that easy favor, and this was kind of just while a great play for SEN, just kind of also on their end like a bit of an off day, and they should still be the favorites to get that 3rd spot to Toronto?
I think G2 is like a solid level above every other team in the lower bracket, with the exception being Crew just decide to be the best team in the world sometimes. And like they didn't today, but they did when they played us the last time. And sometimes they just do that. Yeah. So there's a world that they're just all shooting and can beat G2. But I think like 90 out of 100 worlds, G2 is just qualifying to this tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crew in that game were like, yeah, we want you to face G2 in the upper bracket.
Yeah, no, it's definitely gonna be a bloodbath down there. I'm glad I'm not there.
All right, I just got a couple more questions for you. Any things that you're really excited for when you eventually go to Toronto? Any sightseeing stuff? I heard there's a lot of Filipinos there. I feel like you'll have hella fans there.
I think meeting Filipino fans will be cool. Meeting the fans from Toronto will be great. I was really like I said before, I was really hoping that the Raptors would have made the playoffs so I could see like a playoff game or something. But I'll have to ask Marv for recommendations because he's from there. So I'll ask him like what there is to do out there. I've never been to Canada in general before, so I'm just excited. But I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do.
You should play basketball there. They are a big basketball team.
I would be down to play. I would be down to hoop. Try not to hurt myself though. If I like break my wrist right before the tournament because I was hooping, that'd fucking suck.
Oh, that'd be front page Reddit.
I'll be hooping safely. I'll just sit in the corner and shoot threes.
You're gonna be a shooting guard.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm just do it safely.
All right, Zach, you got a final message to the SEN fans as well as your fans?
Yeah, to everybody, appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for allowing me to do what I do, and thanks for cheering me on and supporting me and the team. I hope you guys weren't too stressed by this match, but we did our absolute best for you guys, and we hope you're happy with the result. And just thanks for all the support.
All right, awesome, Zach. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Bro, Zach, what you doing? That had me dying. Shout out NJ, honestly.
Shout out NJ.
That's VCT Masters.
VCT Masters Newark. One day.
Bro.
I wouldn't mind, bro.
Bro, when they did LCS Newark, that had me shook, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
Newark is ass, man.
I know, yeah. It's not the place you'd want to be honest with you.